Hi everyone. Today we're going to see about decorators in Python. So this is one of the requests from my friend Kumar. So I'm doing on behalf of him. So decorators Python, actually it is a pattern. It is not Python specific. So why do we need decorator? So that is one of the important things we need to know before deep dive inside Python decorators. So why do we need decorators? So if we have an object and if the object wants some other functionality other than the intended functionality, so we have two options to do. So one is we can create a new class and inherit new class by inheriting and add the new functionality. So that is one way. And the other way is we can go for a decorator part. So that is what we're going to see today in today's class. So why do we need it? So we have an existing uh, object and it has some functionality, and then you want to add some more functionality on top of it. So how do you do that? Okay, so that is the decorator pattern. So in Python, decorator pattern is going in a functional way. So we have an existing function. For example, we have a function called core function. So let's define it as core function, and it would start. So I'm just going to say that this function, what it does is it starts something. So function started, and it does something. So right now I'm just going to import time and sleep it. Okay, so sleep one, and then the function stopped. Core function completed. So this is the functionality of this function, and then just gonna put time. Okay, so how do you run this? Run this a1 underscore equal to 8. So running is pretty simple, just call the function. So this is the existing functionality of the function in Python. So it's gonna print started, wait for some time, and then it completes and it returns something. So probably it returns true. Okay, so it returns some variable. So that this is what this function does. So what if I want to add another functionality in it? If I want to check how long this function has run, right? So for this we can add another function which is nothing but time taken. So we'll add the function as the parameter here. So in Python everything is an object, right? So function is also an object over here, so which we pass, and then we get the start time and end time. Start time and end time, that will be end of time, and then you call the function and calculate the end time. So that would be end equal to end of time, right? And then you want to print the function a string of function this func. So everything is an object, and this func is also an object. So this function is having an attribute called name. So we'll include that, and took how long it take. It took int of end. The time taken, I have to calculate time taken. So this many seconds. total time taken. So this parameter is nothing but your n minus start, and then it will return the result as well. Okay, so this is a function which we will do, and what we normally do for decorator is we'll add a wrapper to this, and then you add this existing functionality and you call the wrapper. Okay, so that would be wrapper. Okay, so before we did this to do the core function, so if I also want to add time taken on top of this core function, how will I call this function? So I will call time taken, pass the function which needs to be verified. So we're going to add the function name alone here, and then we're going to add a call over here. So why are we adding this call? This time taken core function will call the wrapper. Okay, and the wrapper needs to be called. So that is why we are giving this function open function call. So now if you run this, this is co-function started, co-function completed. This co-function took 1 second. So that is what the this wrapper does, this particular function. So what we do is we already have a functionality which is co-function. We add one more function on to the co-function. So that is the time taken function. So it has a wrapper, and it calculated the total time taken before and after running the function, and it prints the result. Okay, yeah. So now in Python, what you can do is you can call this function just by adding at on top. So this is called functional decorator. So by doing this, you don't need to do this. You can just call the core function. Okay. So if you run it, you get the same thing. And this is what Python decorator does. Okay, so at time underscore taken, so it calls the time underscore taken function, and it calls the function within it, and it also do some other functionality on top of that. So this is Python decorators. Okay, and functional decorators. So in a broad scope, how can we define it in classes? So how can we truly understand this functions, this decorators in classes? So we can, what we can do is we can create different set of tags. So I'm just going to import ABC. So this is class decorators in Python. Just going to type this. So this is class decorator. So what we'll have is we have a bag. So what we have is we have a bean bag and school bag. So this is a very abstract method. It just have one class, one method. It should be it just has a string. Every class inheriting this should have. So this is what it does, and we have a class called beanbag. Okay, it inherits bag, and this beanbag will have some capacity, and that is capacity. And capacity. So we initialize this beanbag, so it will have some capacity, and then it would return string. So the string would be having, so this is a bag string. So this is beanbag. So that would be a class and the class attribute name. So this is a beanbag and its capacity is this much liters. So that is self.capacity liters. So this is what beanbag does. Similarly, we'll also have school bag. So school bag would be school bag, and same thing. And what we want to have a colored bag. So if you want to have a colored bean bag or colored school bag, we'll have a class for color. So that is what we do as decorators. We don't need to go to beanbag, create a new method for classes, a new method for beanbag as well as for the school bag. You create a new class and you inherit the base class bag from it. So that is this. And what this will have is you should pass what bag you're passing on. So this is like you initialize. You have to say which color and which bag you want to color it, right? So your initialization would be bag object and color. So which color you want. So this would be initialized bag as bag and color would be color. So now what this does is it colors the bag as whatever color you want to give. So it returns this is self dot return a string. So what it does is give the bag name. So that bag name would be self dot bag dot underscore underscore class underscore underscore dot name, right? And with this much capacity, so that is your bag capacity, bag dot capacity, and its color is what color? So we are coloring it the color which we give. Okay, so this is what our colored bag does. So this colored bag would be a decorator. So it takes an object, bag object, and it colors it. So what we do is we create a bag object. So first we create a beanbag 1. So beanbag 1 will have a beanbag and its capacity is around 20. Okay. And if you print beanbag, you can check. So this is a beanbag with 20 liters. So that is what the beanbag function class does, the object has. So if I want to color it, so what I'll do is colored green colored. I want to color this green. So I want to have a green beanbag 1. So what I do is I would pass this to bag colored bag class and beanbag 1, and then I want to color it green. So I'm coloring it green and then I'm printing the green beanbag object. Okay, so I'm coloring it as green, so you can see this is the beanbag with 20, I think that's liters, and its color is green. So what if I want to color school bag? So I'll create a school bag object, school bag 1, and that would be school bag, and its size is 50, and I'll print school bag, and I want to color it red. I want to have red school bag. So just pass this to colored bag, and then pass the school bag one, and I want to color it red, right? So let me check my object. So you can see this is a beanbag with 20 liters and its color is green. This is a school bag with 50 liters and its color is red. So this is a pretty typical example of decorators in Python with class. So we have a bag with a beanbag class with specific functionality. It just has a class, a capacity of few liters, and it does whatever it is. And if you want to color it, I will have a different class, and then I'll use the decorator pattern here and color it green, red. So I can use it for various bags, school bag, bean bags, and it inherits bag as a parent, which is an abstract class. It doesn't inherit bean bag or school bag. So this is pretty much I wanted to summarize today. Hope you guys understand it. And to summarize, I'm going back to the basics. So if you have some new object and you want to add new functionalities to that particular object, so you can do two things. One is you can create a new class, and in Python we have functional decorators. So that is what we see at first. We created a function, core function, and then you want to take understand how much time it took for the function to complete. So that is what this wrapper does. So we created a wrapper and add a Python decorator onto it. This is functional decorators. And the next what we went through was class decorators in Python. So we had a bag object, which is an abstract class. And then we have beanbag and school bag, and we want to color it. So we inherited bag from in color bag, and colored it. So pretty much a good example for decorators. Hope you guys got it. And yeah, thanks a lot.